A showdown over Syria is expected to take place today at the United Nations. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be there to press the Security Council to pass a resolution condemning Syria's dictator. For 10 months now, Bashar Assad's forces have attacked anti-government protesters. The UN says more than 5,000 people have been killed. Joining us now with more on Syria is retired Army Colonel Jeff McCausland. He's a CBS Military Analyst. Thanks for being with us, Colonel.
Betty, it's always a pleasure.
Well, what do you expect to see from this meeting today?
Well, certainly the Secretary of State is going to try to push, as you suggest, for greater sanctions against the Assad government in the Security Council. Now, having said that, it seems to me at this moment very unlikely that's going to pass. The Russians and the Chinese seem to be opposed to any kind of additional sanctions against the Assad government. And likely as well, there might be some encouragement or seeking further efforts by the Arab League in this particular conflict, or an effort by the Arabs in the Arab League to condemn Syria, which might encourage more effort by the United Nations.
As you say, Secretary of State Clinton says the U.S. will throw its weight behind this condemnation of Assad's regime. Is there anything else besides that the U.S. can do?
Well, certainly the United States can impose its own economic sanctions against the Syrian government. Its own voice condemning the actions by the Assad government is a very loud one. In concert with its European allies, those sanctions could be broadened. And I think also the United States has had very close discussions with those countries in the region that are very directly affected, most notably Turkey, Israel, and Lebanon, where we are seeing a growing humanitarian crisis as more and more Syrian refugees cross the border.
Earlier you mentioned Russia. Well, yesterday Russia called for all sides in the Syrian conflict to participate in peace talks in Moscow. With more than 5,000 people dead, is the time for talk over with Assad?
Many people suggest that, and the president in his State of the Union address even said the days of the Assad government are in fact numbered. But I think the Russians are going to insist on that effort, and while it's ongoing, that desire for negotiations, again, very unlikely we'll see Moscow endorse greater sanctions in the Security Council and the United Nations.
Well, Colonel, in addition to Russia's support of Assad, there are reports that Iran has been assisting the Syrian government. Do you know about this, and in what way?
There have been some supports that Iran is providing some assistance to the Assad government. There are also many people are concerned by the fact that Iraq has not in fact condemned the killing of so many civilians over the last 10 months. So this situation obviously centered in Syria, but really could bubble over and likely become, if possible, a regional crisis.
Well, as for the rebels, where do they stand now?
Well, the rebels seem to be expanding in strength and numbers. We're getting reports of more and more Syrian soldiers actually transferring over to the rebel side. And in the last few days, of course, we've had reports of increased violence even around the Syrian capital of Damascus. But that being said, at the moment, it certainly seems clear the Assad government is largely maintaining the support from the military and certainly has enormous combat power on its side vis-a-vis the rebels.
Well, we will see how it plays out today at the UN. Retired Army Colonel Jeff McCausland, as always, we appreciate your insight.
Thanks, Betty.